Hello fellow humans and welcome. Hello fellow humans, what the hell happened to the T125? I've been asked a couple of times what I think of this vehicle now, and I don't really know because, I don't know, Wargaming just completely nerfed this tank for no good reason at all, because it wasn't OP before, it was just played a lot in tournaments, and since Wargaming doesn't seem to give a shit about the regular battles anymore, they decided to just nerf it. So let's have a look at this tank. It is still good, it is still worth getting. Let's get right to it. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. So first let's take a look at it and compare it to all the other similar T10 heavy tanks like this. These, well, heavium kind of style vehicle. They have the Concept 1B, the Chieftain, Super Conqueror, the 60p, and the WZ-111 Crap A. Now, what we can see already here is that it's very mediocre. Most of the others are doing better. Like 60TP has the same DPM but massively more alpha damage, so it basically does lag behind in everything in terms of the gun. Here it also has AP, so the shell velocity is lower than the Concept and the Chieftain. Then the aim time is quite good for this kind of heavy tank. Obviously the Chieftain's is slightly better, and it only has 8 degrees of gun depression, which is a bit disappointing for an American tank like this. But the Concept has 10, and the Chieftain and the Super Conqueror do as well. So basically all the E5 is now is a worse Super Conqueror, but previously it was slightly better. So yeah, nice Wargaming. You know, you had a decent balance at tier 10, but now you just made it stupid so that the premiums are just better. So congratulations on that. Then the speed, as you can see again, it is slower than the Concept and the Chieftain. It has a bit higher power to weight ratio though, so while it's not as fast, it can accelerate a bit faster. And the camo, I mean, they're heavy tanks, it doesn't matter. The traverse speed is also lower than the Concept and the Chieftain, which is very sad. And the armor is also worse. Now obviously the Chieftain has 364, but it's quite easy to pen it. So that really doesn't count. And so the third armor of the E5 still hold up quite well. And the Chieftain's armor doesn't really do that well unless you know how to play any angle well. Same with the Concept 1B, you know, the frontal armor is very great, but the turret is very flat, very 90 degrees, so if you turn it you can be pinned. Well, the E5 has a bit more protection that way. So the armor is the only thing that this thing can somewhat shine at, but then again it immediately loses that advantage against the Super Conqueror, because the Super Conqueror is just all around better armored. Now instead of wasting more time in going around in statistics, let's actually play it, because that's very nice. Now it is mines, which is cool. So let's have a look. I mean, the map is horrible, don't take me wrong on that, but for this kind of tank it is a very nice map, because obviously you can use the middle ridge with the gun depression beautifully and make that work. Now previously this tank had a quite decent and almost outstanding DPM for a heavy tank at around 2,900. Now it has 2,500 because, well, Wargaming happened. And apparently the nerf was because they didn't want this tank to be used as much in tournaments, but the thing is, how many battles are tournaments and how many battles are standard battles? If you balance around tournaments, you're doing it wrong. And that's kind of what happened. The same with the FE2 and 5B. It wasn't really good in regular battles before, and now it's even worse, which is quite sad. But I guess you don't need to play the E5 when the Super Conqueror is the unnerfed E5, just again in British. So there is really no point to keep this thing if the Super Conqueror or the Chieftain exists. So all they did basically is just make people play the premiums rather than protectory tanks. So congratulations Wargaming, you fucked up. Should this tank be buffed to its original state? Of course it should be. You know, there was no reason to ever nerf it, there was no point to ever nerf it, so it should definitely be undone, because, yeah, it's completely ruined the tank, and it also made the game a lot more pay to win, because obviously if all the premium tanks are better, that is pay to win, just saying. Now, obviously, paying doesn't make you win instantly, it's more like pay to get an advantage, which definitely you do get in this case if you buy the Chieftain or the Super Conqueror, rather than try to grind this vehicle. And now, I have no idea what the hell this game is, but the enemy probably didn't like their spawn, so they decided to change it. And now, we're kind of in a bad situation here, because 3 people on this team are dead. The E50M is a very easy target, should be, if I don't hit the... Yeah. Now, we're gonna watch out for the WT on that side. Now, obviously, the main problem that I have now is that the lack of DPM. Now, if I still had the older DPM, it would be a lot easier to just cut through these people. Whereas now, I'm gonna have to be a lot more careful and have to play a lot more measured, which does take away a bit from this tank. Just be quite annoying. The WT is dying, kind of, but at least he is making it work to kill that T-54. Now, hello there. But I always hit 2 millimeters above the lower plate line. Come on, man. Okay, they're going around, which I'm gonna do as well. Come on, enjoy. May camped in the corner and died. That's I think the worst thing you can do. You know, if you camp in a corner and you still die, like what the heck are you doing? Okay. Oh, yeah, boy. Yep. Here we're talking now. We're talking now. I saw you. And the 50 TP is gonna die, but at this point, my goal is damage limitation and increase of damage rather than actually winning because he's dead. And the winning this game is basically impossible at that point, which is quite sad. But as you can see, if you get this game tank into a position like this, you know, I'm about up to 4,000 damage right here. And, I mean, there's still quite a lot of enemies left. The WZ is probably gonna dive bomb me from the back. So I'm gonna try to go back against the hill. Also use it as a sort of device to increase my armor a bit. Come on, jump on me, you dumb cunt. Yes, boy. Give me the damage. Give me that damage, boy. There we go. That's another 500 damage right there. Very nice. Very, very nice game there for me. Not for the team though, obviously, but as you can see, 5,000 damage, just like that. And if you put this tank into a right position, and if you are a good player, you can still get insane amounts of damage with it. So, let's now get into the second one, and the heavies are going to the wrong side of the map. That is quite sad. But yeah. Let's now hold the actual important part of the map. So obviously, what you want to have is you want to have the field, and you also want to have this area here. To have the most map control possible, because obviously the more map control you have, the more useful you can be and the more likely it is you're going to win. Obviously you still need a good team for that, and if you go back here where the heavies are going, you're just locked in. You can't have any impact on other parts of the map really, because obviously one side there's a wall and the other side there's a wall. Okay, now I'm going to hope the E4's over there. I'm just going to peek this and be done with it. T-54A2 is going to make a big mistake here in pushing forward. Hello there. Aren't you a light tank? Shouldn't you be light tanking? Okay, let's do them what they do over there. And let's find out where the 7th one is, which should be another 60 TP somewhere. Okay, well he's gonna die, hopefully very soon. Might even be me. Take him out. Yes. No. Nice gun, mate. Now, one thing that's very bad about this thing is actually the turret traverse speed. You know, I don't know if they nerfed it as well, but it doesn't really traverse the turret very well, and that is not very nice. Because obviously, you can't really follow targets that easily then. And that is not very cool. Now, the problem is, for example, the VK90 here has a similar DPM, but obviously has a bit more armor. It's quite a lot more clumsy tank as well, in terms of how you have to play it. But it is a lot better at like heavy tank stuff in terms of brawling and tanking damage. So there is that. Okay. Kronvang, I mean, 2000 DPM. Speaking of bad T10s, the problem with the Kronvang is it has gun depression, it has turret armor, and that's it. And he doesn't have a life as well now. And they're holding up quite well. Well, I mean, they're both killing each other, which is not too bad. But as you can see, on the important side of the map, we got rid of them. And now we can just go back around and clean up, which is very nice. Just like that. Probably should have shot the E4 for more damage. But, yeah. Let's get this guy as well. 3.3k. I don't think that's a bad result so far. So you can do quite well in this thing. Come on. Yes, there we go. That's a nice battle. So, I I don't think that it is not worth getting. So it is still quite a decent tech tree tank to go for, especially because the T29 and the T32 are absolutely lovely. The M103 is quite beh. So there is that. Now, it's not a bad tank to go for. However, I would recommend a E50M or a 60TP more than this one. But yeah, it ain't bad. It ain't good. It's just there anymore, which is sad. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you for the next one. Goodbye.